And welcome to another exciting episode of Softline. I'm Nancy Banigo, and with me today is Queen Esther. Hello, Esther.
Hello, Nancy.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You're welcome.
I'm good. I see you're a proud Nigerian today, Nancy.
Oh, boy.
Coming out all green. The land is green,
the
indeed.
land is green. We're hopeful.
Right.
So, Esther, what's up?
Well, Nancy, we're all good. Feeding our eyes everywhere.
I tell you.
From the internet, we have loads and loads of activities online. There's no dull moment
No
in
dull
Nigeria.
moment. In fact, I saw a video this morning and I was so angry when I saw that video of a man he was complaining about the price of tomato in the market. If you know, tomato now is quite expensive. And I just wonder how people reason. We do this every year. At a point, tomato becomes so cheap that, people are wasting it.
Right.
You talk about states like Kanu, you go to the market over there, you see the wastage of tomato. You begin to wonder, okay, so it is now what Yoruba people call yafun-yafun.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. You get a custard plate of for 3,500 filled up, right? And you were enjoying it, and you didn't make any video. And now that same custard is 15,000 naira, you are there lamenting and calling Tinubu. And how is it Tinubu's fault? I mean, this is seasonal. So when it is season, we enjoy it. And when it is out of season, we look for alternatives. We've been saying this every year. And then I'm surprised that when people come and make this video, you see the comments behind these videos. People don't want to understand that, Haba, this thing is season, please. When it's in season, you enjoy. If it's out of season, we look for alternatives. We talk of alternatives using what they call it, beetroots. We talk of alternatives using carrots to make these stews. We can make vegetable sauce. If you mustn't eat tomato. You must not eat tomato. This is 15,000. Let's wait. It will still calm down. So there's no cause for alarm. It's a seasonal thing. So that's my message this afternoon, Esther.
Well, I know tomato, sometimes tomato becomes the allergy of the market, just like ginger.
It becomes the gold.
Right. At some point you hear ginger was, I think, 45,000 a custard.
Yeah. The story of ginger is a different story entirely.
Right. So like you rightly said, we know people are lovers of tomatoes. And then apart from it being an edible crop, Nancy, a lot of people use tomatoes for facials, for skin rejuvenation and all of those. Yeah, so...
But don't tell me that's why it's expensive now.
No, I'm not saying that's why it's expensive, because not everybody, majority of the, the populace buy tomatoes for consumption. Right? But like you rightly said, it is seasonal. It's seasonal, so when tomato is in its season, you can buy as much of it as you want. And, sometimes it could even get more expensive because once it comes, we just consume. We do not really have, all the dealers may not really have provisions for
storage,
preserving them beyond their season, just like other crops. I know tomato is highly perishable, right? So once they harvest, they just want to sell off, and the buyers also just want to use up immediately. So the cycle within the market is very short. Others actually convert it to paste, tomato paste. But then I saw something online where somebody came, maybe because the lady that did for Erisco was dragged or arrested. This one came, picked a sachet tomato and snapped only the ingredients. So, and put it online. It just had sugar, preservative, thickener, and all of those. There was no tomato as an ingredient. So that particular Facebooker was calling people's attention to what they're buying in the market. So you see, if we even had, as many people as possible go into production of tomato paste and all of that, the wastage could reduce, and then consumers could even trust more on these fresh produce. And Nigeria is more like an Owambe, every now and then you have these Owambes around, and there is a high demand for tomatoes around the year. Right? It's not really seasonal. Tomato is more like a major staple in every family, where for us that are mothers, if you have tomato, you have stew, it helps you, eases you of certain stress.
True talk. But I remember once upon a time in this state where we had, I think, tomato production. I remember, was it the former governor, Udom Emmanuel? He talked about where people thought it was impossible to plant tomato in Akwa Ibom State, but he was able to achieve that.
Yeah,
I remember that story, right?
Yeah, he did
and
that.
So we had it like an off-cycle production of tomato. We had to, like, even when it was off-season, Akwa
there
Ibom
was
had
tomato in Akwa Ibom
tomatoes. So
too.
what happened to those projects? What happened to those projects? So those are questions we should be asking. So we talked about people going into farming, you know, backyard farmings and all that. What happens to that? People are no longer interested in all this. I know the hardship is really hitting hard, but you know, these are little things we can do for ourselves. I remember back then in school, you know, schooling in the north, you see these things in large quantities. You know, this spoilage is just,
Right.
you know, so we just buy them in those large quantities. Sometimes we dehydrate, we dry them. You know, the sun in the
Right.
north is not something you play with.
Right.
So we dry them in the sun and then we store them in bags.
Wow.
But if you can't do that, we buy them, we grind them, and then we boil them. When they dry off the water, you store them in jars. You know, we
Yeah.
have ways we
Of
do this,
preserving.
and we use this in throughout the semester. Like we
Wow.
don't buy the sachet tomato and all.
tomato.
This is what we do, and so I've grown with that, and that's what I do. So when I see people coming out to make videos, and the annoying part is calling Tinubu, you know, it's
Maybe
just
Nancy,
so funny.
you know, recently with the whole wave of protest and all of that in the country, you know, due to banditry, kidnapping, and all of that, this particular poster maybe is trying to also put
Rope
the
in.
whole the president. You know, banditry could also affect availability, right? Because farmers up north or in the middle belt like Benue, they are also one of the highest producers of tomatoes in the country. So when there is banditry and kidnapping, nobody wants to go to the farm. Even if the produce are there, who are the transporters to bring them down south or to the east? So when you find people complaining and then blaming it, so these things are not, they do not exist alone. They do not exist in isolation. So when you see scarcity of a particular thing, apart from it being out of season, it could be some environmental.
Okay, so him calling the Tinubu's name
Tinubu, I'm not
is just
saying so.
indirectly.
I'm not saying so. And remember when the Senate president actually said, when he was giving one of his addresses, he was trying to introduce the president. And he said, this is the only president who is blamed when a woman gets pregnant. And everybody laughs at it. So people just wake up one morning and then try to pour their frustrations on the president, who is at the helm of affairs of the country.
All right, so let's go on a very quick break. We're done with our chit-chatting. We'll be right back to introduce our guests as well as our topics. Stay with us.
The global business is never static. Watch the market report on ADBN TV for business information, latest happening business deals, government economic policies, stock, crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The market report showing on ADBN TV 1 to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. The market report bringing you up to speed in the business world.
Welcome to FCT in Focus, your window to the vibrant heartbeat of Nigeria's capital. We dive deep into the core of the FCT, exploring how key policies and decisions shape lives across the city. From exclusive insights into the FCT administration to voices from the streets, we bring you stories that matter. Catch FCT in Focus every Saturday and Sunday at noon. Tune in for the latest stories directly from the nation's hearts.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. Anavo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linuxwell TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
Well, thanks for tuning in, and a good afternoon to the gentlemen out there and to the women watching for the men they love. Welcome to you all. Today we're talking about the weight men don't post, the bills, the silence, I am fine. This is Beyond Tough, a series we started this month of June to celebrate men. So today's conversation is the weight men don't talk about. He carries the family, he carries the bill, but hey, let me ask you, as a man, who is carrying you? Well, we have Mr. Humble Ipa. He's a coach, an entrepreneur, and he's also a speaker. He's here, he's a father, he carries bills, so he's a businessman. I'm sure he's the right candidate for this conversation today. Mr. Humble, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Show,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And so I'm going to start this conversation with something very realistic. As a businessman, as a father, as a husband, what happens to those months when the bills are not being paid, the pocket is dried, but you can't tell that to your family? You just have to be present for them. How do you handle such situation? What goes on in your mind those days? Because I'm sure you've had such experience, right? We're being real.
Once again, thank you for having
You're
me.
welcome.
Being what you're talking about basically describes what being a man is about. It's about headship, leadership, showing the way. And if you fall behind in those areas, of course, the culture comes after you. There are certain biases that we want to talk about might take the whole day. Nonetheless, in those rough times, the mistake most people make in life, I would call it a mistake most people make, because of the fact that there is no manual to how to live or how to be a man, and very few fathers give time to mentoring their children in that direction. Because there are a lot of people, like when you're asking the question, you talk about you are not able to tell. I operate a different formula.
Okay.
Even when my kids were very tender, I talked to them about stuff. I remember when during the COVID, it was a personal experience. I remember during the COVID, I've never been prepared for a thing like that before. It was my first time. So I was alone with them, just me and them, no mate, nobody, just me and them. And for about a few days, I was out of money. And I was like, how am I going to handle this one? They were tender, and I was wondering how I'm going to do it. So at some point, what I had was running out. And I knew I would run out in 2 days. So I had to sit down with them. I called them, the three of them, they sat with me. I told them I want to have a meeting with you. I need us to work on something. And the eldest, my daughter, she said, what are we talking about? I said, okay, good enough, good question. So I told her to take inventory of what we have in the kitchen.
Wow.
Go take inventory of what we have in the kitchen. I told my son to check it out where we have backup for water, pumping water. I was just distracting him and make them feel important by, delegating. So when they came back with whatever they came back with, I already had that information. I just sent it them because I wanted to get them involved. So they came back and they were telling me what we had. I said, okay, from the news, I showed you on the news, we can't go out. Daddy can't go out to make money. And working from home is kind of rough because I wasn't prepared for this. So with the situation at hand, if we continue the way we've been doing, we'll be out in 2 days. What do you think we can do so that we can extend to 4 days? I was amazed. I must tell you, I have not forgotten that experience. I was amazed. My daughter came up with ideas. The youngest one was screaming, "What kind of thing is it? Why can't they allow me to go out?" Of course, that's what happened when people don't have valuable contribution to something. What they do is snap.
True.
They begin to throw tantrums. You see that a lot on Facebook comments.
True.
When you say something important, people don't have something to say. What they do is throw tantrums, insults, and all that.
True.
So I could understand. But that experience kind of exposed me to something. And
Okay.
I began to realize that it's a mistake for us men to isolate ourselves when it's rough. It's a mistake. So I want to say to all men out there, learn to communicate. That is, if you're fortunate to have people who listen.
Okay.
Because a one blanket style will not work. There are some men that are unfortunate not to have people who listen around them. In such situation, they may not be around you, but you can have them a call away. You can have people a call away, right?
True.
You can talk to someone, because the mistake we make is thinking that carrying it alone defines us. Carrying it alone does not define you. It's your ability to share your vulnerability in a way that is healthy that can bring the solution you seek. So thinking and working things out in isolation, I think, is an error. So my advice to men out there would be, learn how to share, connect with people. And one of the best strategy is just not wait. Okay, for some people who probably are listening to us right now and have not been in crisis before that, shook their core, or they are not yet in a family situation, right? I would like to say this. Learn to treat people with respect. Learn to, work with people. For example, one of the things that stood out for me in my downtime was the fact that people who have been there for them, or who heard I've been there for someone before, showed up for me in a way I didn't understand.
Okay.
And besides that, there are people that will be there for you because they just get to like you. So you respect people. The way you carry yourself with respect. You don't get on people's faces. You don't do things that keeps people away. You are open. You embrace people. You share. People talk to you privately about something. You don't go telling the whole world about it. So when you do that, nature has a way of paying you back. You see people come through for you when you're down. But if you don't have that investment in nature where you have treated people well, you have planted good seeds in the way you handle matters with people, the way you carry yourself, the kind of energy around you is accommodating. When it's like that, in your downtime, people will come through for you. So these are the kind of things you can do ahead of your wilderness experience. Because when such times come, nature begins to feed you back. Besides the regular people that you meet day in, day out, who will come through for you.
Before Esther comes in, when you were explaining of bringing people into situations, seeking for help in a healthy way, that caveat there. When you talk about in a healthy way, how would one know which one is healthy? Because when you are in a big problem, you're just looking for a way out.
I get it.
You might not be able to think. So how would you know which one is a healthy way and which is not?
Particularly in a dispensation where when you come out to show vulnerability, you're dragged for it.
True.
Or you're termed not man enough.
Okay. Yeah, I've been there, so I think I'm a better candidate to talk about them. Yes, there will always be situations like that where people will turn the nice thing you do against you, but people will betray you. And what I will advise based on experience is, it has happened to me many times, and it's still happening. I'm still learning, still growing, but it has taught me certain fundamental lessons that I would like to share here. There are healthier ways to share your vulnerability.
Okay.
Let me share an example. If I am, when you say share your vulnerability, am I coming to seek for assistance right? Assistance in the sense that am I asking for money,
financial help.
or am I asking for advice? This defines, the distinction. So let's pick one. Which one would you like me to address?
Both of them. Just give us a tip from both sides.
Okay. So let's say I'm out of money. I've always been seen like the stand-up guy who takes care of his own, who doesn't go down. I've always been there. I'm strong 24/7. You see me, the way I carry myself, I'm always able. Then I'm in a situation I need some help. And this help is not the kind of help where I ask for 1 million. The kind of assistance that embarrasses is when you ask for 2K.
Or just 2K.
Big boy asks for 2K. Right? It's embarrassing, right? So that's the very type that hits you. So how do you ask for it in a way that will not embarrass you? Because I have asked directly, I've been ignored, it has happened to me before, But I learned something. I don't get to hate the people that turn me down.
Okay.
When the first time it happened, I used to be like, imagine I helped this guy out with a lot more back then. Why would he do that? Why would he talk to me like that? Why would he dismiss me? Sometimes you talk to people and they're like, okay, fine, just give me 2 minutes, and they never pick your call again. So there are ways it happens, and you look back, and if you're not careful, you begin to move around with bitterness. That bitterness affects how you live, how you see people, how you even assist people going forward, right? But how about we flip that a little bit? I carry some value. I study you.
Okay.
I understand certain things that you need, and the value I can bring to you. And I approach you. First of all, that I notice there's something here and I would like to be of help. How about we partner so I can do that for you going forward? Would that be of good to you? The person now see you as someone who wants to do this or that. And you're like, okay, I'm a little bit far away from you now. Okay, let's say you wanted me on this show. Let me use something very clear. You wanted me on this show and it's urgent. Somebody was supposed to be here, he's not here. Mr. Humble, can you be here? And I'm like, okay, fine. I can be there, yes. But I'm a little bit far from where you are. Meanwhile, I'm on Ododama here, right? I'm not far from you. I think I'm a little bit far from you. Can you just push me 2K? Let me be able to pay my way down. And immediately you drop the 2K, I solve the problem, and I show up. I've been able to flip that with offering value, right, in exchange. So that is one of the ways. But when you are seeking for advice, it can be dangerous because, and this really applies to me in my field, our people do not place premium on professions like coaching.
Right.
As a coach, you ask for someone to pay for something. You think, well, he has an idea, why can't you just tell me? They want it to be for free. You see that a lot with people who have lawyer friends, doctor friends, pharmacy friends. They want them to offer the advice for free. They don't want it paid for. They don't want to pay for it. They just, but why not just tell me what to do? That one is more dangerous. And anytime you offer something for free, the more you drop in value.
Okay.
The less value people take, they don't take you seriously.
And people value what they can get or what they pay for.
There's something happened when I came back from my coaching. I was loaded up, charged up, have this idea, I have so much to give, and I was everywhere. And there is a particular group on Facebook. So my coach is on that group, I'm there.
Okay.
And some people were saying some things that I knew my coach read it. And I was wondering why he didn't jump on it and fix it. So I placed a call. I said, Coach, why don't you just address that guy on your comment? Something he's trying to say, I think you should school him on that. He said, no, Mr. Humble, that's not the way. I said, okay, because I'm getting charged up with this thing. I want to do it, but it's your wall. I don't want to go there and throw my energy around. So how best do we handle this as coaches? And he said something I will never forget. He said, when people sound that way, you allow them. Best you can do is react with a like or thumbs up. Leave it. At that point in time, when they are like that, argumentative, exchanging that negative energy, contesting with you, there's nothing you will tell them that they will value. But when they hit rock bottom, just make sure that your contents are consistent, that they know that you are an expert in that field. When they hit rock bottom, they will locate you. And when they do, you charge them for all the insults. And I mean, that's, I'll never forget that.
That's being strategic, a business mind.
And that made a lot of sense because until people are in a situation, they will not understand certain things.
True.
So
All
when
right.
you allow them, they now begin to value.
All right, Esther,
advice.
you want to go with your question because the time is fast. You know?
Sorry, it's always the case.
All right. Mr. Humble, what
Okay.
pressures do men carry that people really acknowledge?
There are a lot. There are a lot of them psychological. There are sometimes biological, emotional, other times spiritual. And you know, in these categories, there are other branches within every category that I've mentioned. And it also varies in age, society, and people. The problems that a young man in his late 30s carry is not the same as a man in his early 50s or 60s.
True.
The problems that a young man who just left school has a good job, is well paid, the problem he carries is not the same as a man in his category who is looking for a wife. The same category, just got married and has a challenge. So you see, these things, they are different categories. So if you look at it, let's take two categories there, emotional and very psychological. If you look at those two categories, a lot is involved there. Psychologically, you find out that he has something in front of him with inability to share because the other the parties concerned, the stakeholders in that over that particular issue are not ready to listen. And men are very careful because we get judged easily when we open our mouth. We open our mouth, the judgment, and sometimes you are never forgiven. So we are very careful not to be judged when things happen like that psychologically. So you want to make sure that you find healthier ways to communicate them or to manage them.
Okay.
And when you look at emotional, there's something I learned from Bishop Jakes. He was describing the life of a man. He's carrying family issues, bills, work, his own health, his own personal life, a whole lot. And he described that to be about each ball, a ball juggler. You understand? A ball juggler. A ball juggler can juggle 2 balls, 3 balls. Some can do up to 5, some can do up to 7. So he said this, and that stood out for me. He said, let's say each of these balls that you're juggling represent one of the challenges, each of the challenges that you carry. Bill is one of the balls. Maybe your job is one of them. Maybe your aged parent, your parents aging, you're taking care of them, is one of the balls. Your job is, let's look at it, and these are like 5 balls. He said, in the life of a man, you are expected to juggle these balls with a particular rhythm, so that none of the ball falls off. So now, while you are juggling ball, remember, you cannot keep one ball in your hand for too long, because another ball is heading that way, so you need to throw this one. So for your ability to juggle them with a particular rhythm and maintain that rhythm in a way that no ball falls off is what makes you a man. Now, he relates that to real life. He says, The mistake that we make often is that we say, okay, let me take care of the family own and leave the bill and the personal bills, extended family bills. Let me leave work and handle only one. By the time you pay too much attention to one ball, the rest of the ball goes off.
So what do you do in this?
So what you do is you need to learn to manage them at a rhythm, understanding that they all matter. All the balls matter. Yes, it's difficult when you do it in your head.
Oh, okay.
That's where the difference is. It's difficult when you do it in your head. We need to understand, and please, listeners or viewers, pay close attention. We have problems. Most of the problems we have with managing the mental load is not because the things we are managing are a lot. It's not the number.
Okay.
It's not the number that is the problem. The problem is we are handling all of them in our head. The head is, in short, the mind is it's a poor storing facility,
Okay.
but a better processing facility. Right. So if you use your mind to store, you're going to have issues because you can store, this storage space is very little, right? But if you learn to pour out what you have in your mind, for example, if I have all my bills, we talk about parents, you mentioned work and all of that, and I sit down, learn to think on paper by pouring them out on paper. Write everything down as it is in your head. Just don't mind the English, just not the handwriting. Just pour them out on paper. I'm telling you what I do,
Okay.
because it happens all the time. Okay, for example, you're at work, you are given tasks at work, you are also planning for your program. You go back home, your child is sick, and you need to fix that.
Yeah.
Your wife is also sick. There's nothing at home. You need to go to the market, you need to fix it. There's a lot to do. When it happens like that and you want to run it all in your head, you're going to make mistakes.
Wow, you're going to go mental.
You're going to make a whole lot of mistakes. But if you can sit down,
Okay.
I mentioned the first point was talking about it,
Okay.
right? Second point now is learn to think on paper. By thinking on paper, you first of all pour them all out. Pouring them on paper, this is what it does. It begins to add flesh to that abstract thing.
Okay.
So you can begin to see them. Begin to see them.
Okay.
And when you begin to see them and find out what they are on paper, the next thing you do is begin to organize them. Because anything you can put down on paper can be organized. Anything you can organize can be managed.
Wow.
Anything that can be managed is a less load,
Wow.
much lesser load for you. So
Listening-
that sequencing, I'm trying to catch up
yes,
with
I
you.
understand.
Cutting to the chase.
And I don't even want to cut because I'm already into your conversation. But we have to go on a very quick break. We are even fast.
Okay.
We've spent our break time. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, thank you so much for being there. We still have Mr. Humble in the building, and we're talking about the things men carry in their head that they really don't talk about, the responsibilities they carry in their heads that they don't really talk about. Before we come back, because Mr. Humble is trying to make a very salient point, but let's take some few tweets, and then we'll come back, give him the chance to, finish up on his points. Okay, so we have some tweets here. We have our very first tweet here from Sir Nelson, and he said, "Nobody talks enough about this. Many men are expected to be strong, providing, successful, emotionally stable. Even when life is hard, some are carrying responsibilities they never discussed." Oh, okay. And next tweet says, "Society expects a man to be strong, provide, protect, and solve problems, even when he's exhausted, stressed, and fighting battles in silence." Silent battles. Masculinity is not noise, aggression, or domination. A man is measured by discipline, responsibility, and self-control. The strongest men are those who protect, provide, and remain composed under pressure while carrying burdens without making excuses. This sounds quite different from what we're discussing. This person is going in a different direction. Because I have heard and I've seen a lot of women talk about this when they say, growing up, we know men to be strong. So what does this talk about being vulnerable? Don't cry, don't show your cry, you have to be emotional, you're also human. Excuse me, when your husband begins to cry, the whole house will if the man who is supposed to be the one carrying the house is crying, we're in trouble. So there's the fear begins to creep in. Yeah. People begin to get discouraged and begin to panic, chaos. They begin to wonder, this man that is leading this house, he's not capable, Yeah. But here we are preaching, be emotional. Yeah. So I guess that's what this last tweet is talking about. So I would like you to also, talk on that. Yeah,
the last tweet is actually a reflection of the culture scape. Right, culturally, that's the expectation, and we as parents owe our children and the people. When I say children, not just your biological children, but the young ones in your space, to educate and inform them of that expectation, because nobody owes nobody anything. Who sets the standards for who? Standards that were set 40 years ago probably are obsolete, right? If you are, as an entrepreneur, you will notice something. When I do trainings for companies, I used to talk to managers, supervisors about something. Okay. If the manager, you will notice that if the manager is in between 47 and 55 of age, you have issues managing the Gen Zs. You notice there will be a challenge. When you look at the structure, the management structure, and how it approaches leadership, you find out that it doesn't get to understand how the Gen Zs think. Okay. So you begin to approach. You want to kill a mosquito, and you're going with an hammer, and you make a mess, trying to do the right thing the wrong way. So, talking about the culture scape, the culture has an expectation, but if the people in our space, we begin to educate them and make them understand the context of that expectation, because if you don't define that context properly, it will be misunderstood. So when they say men don't cry, who said it? Have we taken our time to investigate why and when that statement was made, who made it, and in what context? Because it's very important. If we do not get the context right, then we're going to get our understanding of it wrong. So when people say that, I don't blame them. They were born into it, they took it in and they run with it. But until the day where you start questioning, I have always had problems with people when it comes to things like that, because when you tell me this is how things are done, I will ask you, set by who? And a lot of people get offended. Why do they get offended? Because they don't even know where they carry that information from.
Okay.
And because of you are bruising their ego, they react that way. If they are your seniors age-wise, or in a company organogram, they begin to think about you as being insolent or being confrontational.
Yeah.
I always ask that question. But you see, in the workplace it's better. Try things like that when you are in a traditional circle, where we are your chiefs in your community. Then you will understand that this thing is another level. Because I fortunately I'm a board of trustee in one of the HCDTs. So when you are handling this host community development trust thing, you have a lot of issues coming from the elderly in these communities, and they begin to confront you with certain things. And you tell them, but who said that? Who said that is how it's done? The rules are here on the PIA, and they begin to tell you how things should be done traditionally and how things are done here. And if you're not careful how you manage those things, you can become very violent sometimes. People get hurt.
True.
So you need to understand how these things work. So back to what we're talking about. What the person is saying is a reflection of what is happening in the society.
Okay.
But we owe it, this platform, right? We owe the responsibility of correcting those understandings, because most of them are not true. Some of them could be true, but the context, the context differs as you move around, right? Okay, for example, now, men should not cry. Who said it?
Are they not humans?
Men get hurt. Men get hurt when they're in pain. They can cry. And the way what crying does to women is about the same thing it does for men.
That's
What it does for men, for women, is about the same thing it does for men. Because it gives you a chance to release. It gives you a chance to release, relax. And it also opens you up to people who understand, love, and care about you. Because when tears comes down your eye and somebody's attacking you at that point, you can tell who the person is. And there are some people that their own way of showing love is to be harsh.
narcissistic.
They begin to, that's it. They begin to use certain words on you that you will not understand. In my dating years, I remember something happened to me and tears came down my eye. And my girlfriend at the time said something I will never forget. She just looked at me and said, why are you just being stupid? Oh, God. She said that, I was like, whoa. I didn't expect that, you know.
That was
because where I came from, my home, I mean, that's not how people, exactly. That's not how we are treated.
Okay, let's just talk about now. So now, who do you cry to? Like when you're overwhelmed?
It depends on the challenges I have. If it's in my business, my career, I see my coach is still there.
Oh, okay.
It can be expensive, over 500,000 for 30 minutes. It's a lot of money, right?
Oh, just to go cry to your coach?
No, just express, not cry. You're not going there to cry. You're going there to get value. Don't forget, why we seek help is we are confused. We're not able to fix it. We're at the crossroad. We don't understand the way out. For me, I'm trained. I try what I know. It's not working. It always works, but this time it's not working.
So that's for your career?
For my career. For my own personal emotional issue, I'm very fortunate to have a woman who listens.
Okay.
Very fortunate to have a woman who listens. And she's also trained on counseling.
Oh. Okay.
So you go there, you talk, and I also I'm fortunate to have people around me. I have people around me that, and even when I'm financially down, you know, when I'm confused, when I'm lost, I have brothers, I have big brothers, I have, even on my in-law side, I have people. So I'm fortunate. Even in my career as colleagues, as my colleagues, and I want to say this because a lot of people might understand what I just said. So let me make it clear. When I say I have people, I cultivated that.
Okay.
It wasn't random. I wasn't born like that. I said something earlier. You treat people well. You handle relationships well. It must not always be you winning. Sometimes you just have to cut people some slack. Be there for people. Be empathetic. Mind your words. You see, people usually call men violent, call men aggressive and all of this. Some of these things are resultant effects of inability to manage your mental overloads. Because if you're able to manage your mental overload, pour things out on paper, have people to talk to, people that you have invested your trust in, and they can also do same with you. When you've been cultivating this over time, you can now go to people and say, can put a call through, I'm having this challenge. Please, can I talk to you? I need someone to talk to.
Okay.
I have people I can call, even if it's 1 a.m.
So is this you telling men now to cultivate this habit of, having...
I'm telling people...
Being there
Like
for
an
other
accountability
person.
partner.
I'm just trying to say a very simple thing. Treat people well. Live life as if you are not the king here. Understand that we are here to service each other. There's something Yanni said in one of his concerts. He said something. He said, the best human being is all of us put together. And I've never forgotten that. Okay, I'm on the show. Let's say I meet you for the first time on the show. I need to treat people with respect. You meet someone, you're on the road, somebody approaches you, not because the person is not with, it's not maybe dressed the way you like or something. Listen to them first.
Okay.
Listen to them first. I was talking to a lady. Somebody called me and said I should look for an apartment in Uyo. And I contacted an agent. And I told the agent, this is the kind of apartment I'm looking for. Let me see it. I have a description of what the person wants. What that young girl told me, I just laughed. She told me, okay, there's an apartment. I said, okay, by this time, I would like to come have a look. Are you free then? She said, it all depends. I said, I would like to know if you're free. If you're not free by this time, please give me another time. I run a busy schedule. Let me know how to plan to be available. Next thing she told me is that you need to understand, listen to me. This thing is like a Game of Thrones. This is like a Game of Thrones. One time it can be here, one time it's not here. And she just started saying some very ridiculous things. And I just paused for a moment and like, who is she talking to? And I just replied, I'm not sure this last message was for me. However, I will still see you by this time like we arranged. I think she went and conducted a background check. Came back and apologized. It's okay. Sometimes you meet people that will do things that, if you're not careful, you bet with them in the mud. Remember, when you bet with pigs in the mud, they are happy and you're ruined. So it's just what it is. When people meet these things, like I said, talk to someone. If you don't have someone to talk to, learn to pour it out.
Yeah, and then just before, we just have just a few minutes. When you talked about that, pour it on paper, you were talking about the repercussion if you don't do that.
Yeah.
You talked about how people go into drug abuse.
Yes, if you do not learn to think on paper, the consequential effect of handling things in your head all the time, you see a lot of people go into drinking.
Okay.
A lot of people, because they don't have healthy channels to share, you see them go and sit down, even in
drink away their sorrows. In
the process of drinking, you say things to the wrong people and expose yourself. And they make you feel like bodies. But you say things you're not supposed to say. You expose yourself. A few years down the line, you're somewhere about to do something very important. Somebody show up, maybe you again. And they throw that at you.
How about those who can't write?
If you cannot write, I say this again, I think I've said this before on this show, and I'll say it again. This is one of the best things that has happened in our time, having a phone. If you have a phone, there are channels now, there are AIs, you don't need to write, say it. Say it.
True.
Say it. I see people come on Facebook and say something so private, and I feel like going back channel to tell them, take that off.
Oh, really? Like
You know,
like Nancy, I came by a video where an Olori, an Oba, the husband, a renowned king in the West, beat her up today. She did a live video immediately.
Oh my God.
The whole of our community went agog. We were begging her. You people shouldn't have done this. You have disgraced us. And
Oh my
Oba
God.
was behind her. She sat in the car doing the video. Oba was behind saying, I was not the one. She said, look at my eyes. He hit me. She was calling on the governor to come and see what his king is doing.
People should be careful. The internet
And
never
that one,
forgets.
It has gone. It has gone.
The internet
dream it.
never
Even if you
forgets.
delete,
Even when
it's
you
there.
delete it, there are people that have served it.
Yeah.
Exactly
They've saved it.
right.
Right.
People that have served it somewhere. Someday your son, your daughter shows up, and boom, it's on their faces. So this, stereotype concept that men don't cry, men should not. I want to tell all the men out there, being a man, with keeping things to yourself, isolating yourself from help, is not the definition of being a man. What a man is knowing how to handle your responsibilities with wisdom. Simple. They will always be there. Those responsibilities will always be there. In fact, they define you. The better you learn how to handle them, the more informed and stronger you will become.
And talk to somebody there out there also who likes to solve everybody's problem. You know, we have men like that who like to carry
Yeah,
on.
I am one of them.
Okay.
I'm actually one of them. I used to throw myself around, and you see,
Just 1 minute, sir. We have just.
God,
Okay.
we always have less time for this thing. We have a longer time to handle this thing. The truth is, take care of you first. Take care of you first. Everything else that happens around and about you all operates and functions from your core. If your core is not stable and well established, everything that comes off it will be shaky. So learn to handle you first, because Albert Einstein talked about this organized table and how it relates, how it reflects a disorganized mind. If you cannot think right, you won't be even able to be articulate in the way you say it. So you first handle it here first before you can share it. Because if you cannot even handle it, if you cannot see clearly what the problem is, you cannot even ask for help in a proper way, because you cannot articulate your questions properly. You don't know how to ask the right questions. And if you can't ask the right question, you won't get the right answer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Humble, for coming on the show today. You know, we don't have much time. I would have asked when you talked about take care of you. I wanted to know your routine for taking care of you, so that someone out there listening could also tap into that.
I can do that in 1 minute or 30 minutes
No.
because it's important.
Okay. Okay. How do you take care of you as a man?
Sleep well.
Okay.
Sleep well. When you can sleep well, pray well. Very important.
Pray well.
Have a good relationship with the Holy Spirit. It's very key. It's central to my success.
All right.
How about games, football?
I do much.
Massage.
Entertainment takes like 2% of me.
Okay.
I don't do much of entertainment. When I was younger, I did a lot of that. Then now,
He's
I'm older,
retired.
the responsibility is huge. So
Treating yourself
I
to
give,
someone.
I give myself, I have a lot of people to serve. So I
All
give my
right.
time to that.
Thank you so much
You're welcome.
for being you with us today, letting it all out without hiding anything. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Men, you don't have to carry it all alone. Beyond Top is human first. Check on your brothers today. Well, from all of us here on this table, we are wishing all men a happy, what's the day again? Thursday. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. I've forgotten what to do.